Hello everyone.
Hello guys, welcome to Pitching in Line. In this video, we're going to talk about India versus England ODIs, where India number 2 ranked team is playing the current world champions, England. And already right now, the first match is finished and where India has won pretty convincingly. If you see the scorecard and the result summary, but it wasn't like that. If you actually have seen the match, it wasn't like that. So first we'll start with India's batting. India relatively had quite a slow start. What do you think about it, especially when you're playing against England, where they are known to play very fast-paced cricket? I think they were around 15 overs for 64 or something like that.
Yeah,
So what do you think about that opening start?
I think it's kind of two opinions. One is like in initial 5 to 6 overs, I thought that we had to play a little cautiously because the ball was doing a lot when Mark Wood's first spell was going on and Sam Curran was bowling really well in that first spell. I think first 5 6 overs I can understand. You wanted to take the measure of the pitch, like how it's behaving, what is the bounce of the pitch and all. But as the time progressed, both Dhawan and Rohit Sharma were kind of stagnant and on the crease. And once Rohit Sharma got hit, I think he wanted to play some shots, but got out to a very bad shot, I will say, of Ben Stokes. Then Shikhar
Lose wicket.
Dhawan played really well for his 98. No complaints about it. But just that, no, he was kind of stagnant when he was into his 90s. Until then, he was playing his shots. He was hitting his boundaries convincingly. But once he went to that 90s mark, I think he was really quiet. The runs weren't coming, so which ultimately made the wickets tumble at the other end. So I think that is the game. That is the area where we need to improve. We need to accelerate. If we, pull the pedal, it will be opposition will pounce on you. And this day and age, this kind of total is not enough. 317 is not gonna be enough in going into the future.
Hmm. Yeah, certainly. I think India needs to play much more freely at the top, but okay, we can. Since it's happened in the first match, let's hope it doesn't happen again. And we'll talk about Virat Kohli. Actually, Virat Kohli was the one. I think he started playing really well. He was very fluent in his innings, but again, his 100. It's been almost like more than 1.5 years. Do you think it's playing in his mind, like how 100th century was playing on Tendulkar's mind?
I think somewhere down the line, yes. Even though he may deny it that I'm not playing for all these things, but somewhere down the line, in subconscious mind, he will be feeling that heat. That's for sure. But I think yesterday he was very expressive. That was, he showed his intent from ball one which he faced. He wanted to play shots. He wanted to dominate the opposition. That's the Virat Kohli we know. And I think it's very, very heartening to see this kind of approach coming back after the quiet start to T20 series. From third T20 onwards, he accelerated and we are able to see that vintage Kohli coming back. I think it's good, and I think that 100 is not so far. It's around the corner somewhere.
Okay. And for me, person, I think the turning point of the match was when Krunal Pandya and KL Rahul came together. And it was very good to see KL Rahul coming back to form because I think it was necessary for him. He was finding really difficult to play with against the new ball with such a quality type of bowlers. And I felt this was the right opportunity for him, to take his time to get settled down and probably attack at the later stages. And that's what exactly happened. He was very, very scratchy at the start, but I guess second half of the innings he has placed very well. And a huge word of appreciation for Krunal Pandya.
Yeah.
He's a well-known face in the Indian circuit. We have seen him regularly featuring for Mumbai Indians. But on that match day, he came in from the ball one. He showed that intensity, and he wasn't playing those rash, unnecessary shots. He was timing the ball well. He was placing the ball well, and he was very, very emotional.
Yeah.
Where his father has expired a couple of months back, and
Yeah.
where you could have seen it clearly.
Yeah.
So, but coming back to this match, do you think Krunal Pandya has nailed his spot?
I think yes, but again, once Jadeja is coming back, then I think he has to give it to Ravindra Jadeja. But for time being, I think if in ODIs, if you compare him with Washington Sundar, I think you can say Kunal Pandya has got a little edge in this match, because it's not easy to make your mark in the very first match which you are playing. Even though he has already played for India in T20s, it's his first proper ODI game. He was coming under
Mm.
pressure, that situation. So I think he has kind of retained his spot for at least till Jadeja is coming back.
Okay, and one more thing, what do you think about Hardik Pandya's form? Uh, do you think he has to, come still down the order or come up the order? What should be the game plan? And one more question is the second part. Second question is, are you fine with the batting lineup that India has went with?
Answering your first question, I think Hardik Pandya has to come in if the platform is set. If India is somewhere 200 for two in 30 overs, right? In those kind of situations where platform is set, even you can send Hardik Pandya in, and you can even send him at number four. Talking about what was second question? Batting order, right? Uh,
Yeah, batting on, because there was no Surya Kumar Yadav, there was no Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant had a golden period running him so far, and he's not there.
Yeah, that is like Shreyas Iyer be given a chance, since he was doing well in that spot, number four spot, for a couple of years, 2 3 years, continuously. So I think that is the reason why Kohli preferred Shreyas Iyer over Surya Kumar Yadav, and they had only one spot, and they had to go with either KL Rahul or Rishabh Pant, and they wanted to try KL Rahul. They wanted to keep the faith on him, make him score runs. He was very low on confidence, and he could not have gained confidence by sitting out, on the bench. So I think that is the only way he could have gained his confidence. But I think Kohli did a good job. But now, since Shreyas Iyer is injured, now we can see straight swap and Surya Kumar Yadav playing the second ODI.
Yeah, and KL Rahul at number 5, he's averaging more than 50
Yeah,
runs.
yeah.
And I think from the past 1 year, him and Shreyas Iyer actually have been pretty well for India. But it's very unfortunate that Iyer has got injured, and I don't think so. Right now, Surya Kumar Yadav could have asked his place in the 11 in much better time. I think it's a golden opportunity for him, and he's in a very good form, and he looks like a much more, a little bit more aggressive player than Shreyas Iyer when it comes to strike rate. So it is expected for him to make debut in the next match. And one more thing I wanted to ask you is about Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah.
They weren't playing Kuldeep Yadav at all for the almost past one and a half year. He plays hardly one odd match here and there. He wasn't getting chances in Test cricket, T20Is, and finally he comes in here in even ahead of players like Yuzvendra Chahal, who is usually the first choice spinner.
I think I was surprised. I expected the Yuzvendra Chahal to get a first game, but I was very happy that Kohli and management were wanting to keep faith on Kuldeep Yadav and bring his confidence back. But honestly, man, the way he bowled, I think certainly looks that he has lost his confidence, and he looked wavered. He looked really wavered, and you also saw that how Kohli tried, brought him on when England were 9 down, and desperately he wanted him to take at least that wicket, but unfortunately he couldn't take that last wicket also. So that shows how his mind is, and he has been a good player for India, but I think it's unfortunate, and I think as far as now, I think Yuzvendra Chahal will make a more valid element in this 11 instead of Kuldeep Yadav, just based on form.
Yeah, true. But I think I would still prefer Kuldeep Yadav, just to hope that he'll come back in form. If he actually does come back to form, then that would be extraordinary. We have seen in the past, in 2018 and 19, when the combination of Kulcha really wreaked havoc around the world. So I think he's very good player to be sitting out, to be out of confidence. Only for that purpose, only to give him the confidence back, I would probably play Kuldeep Yadav. And I think one more reason why he was playing was due to Krunal Pandya. Krunal Pandya is a left-arm spinner.
Yeah.
Kuldeep Yadav will bring the
Hmm.
ball into the right hander. I think they needed that variation. That could be
Correct.
the sole reason. but yeah, I think he was definitely a little bit unimpressive. So we we may not be too much what like a little bit surprised if he doesn't feature in the playing 11. And what about Prashit Krishna?
Yeah. I think he has made a statement. Unfortunate that his first spell was little, menacing for him, because when batsmen like Johnny Bairstow and Jason Roy are in that form, you can't do anything. They were hitting every bowler, and I think the way he came back is really praiseworthy. And Kohli has trusted him, not only now, from past 1 or 2 years. I've been seeing that Kohli had mentioned about Prasidh Krishna in lots of interviews and lots of press conferences, and how he's keeping Prasidh Krishna in his future plans. So I think the conditions were tailor made for him. There was good bounce in the wicket, and Prasidh Krishna, with being he's a skiddy bowler and he has good pace as well, and he was expected to make some mark, and I think definitely he made more than what was expected. Picked 4 wickets, and I think one of the best figures for him. At the debut, 4 for 54 against a batting like England. I think he couldn't have asked a much better debut than this.
Yeah. And again, and I think one more crucial player was Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Again, he has showed his class. When the team was going at around 10 runs per over, England were like what, 13 overs, 135?
Yeah.
And Bhuvneshwar Kumar only, his economy was 3. It was literally 3 runs per over.
3 runs per over.
So I think it will be very mouth-watering once if we see just with Bumrah
Yeah.
coming back into the side. I think it will be a very good contest against the opposition. And what do you think about Natarajan? Dean Natarajan didn't really get a chance because we in Australia we were really hyping him up. We were backing him up so much, and coming to one day cricket. Yes, he was coming from injury, but again he's losing his spot. I mean, do you think he'll be very, very confused with what is going on?
I don't think he'll be confused. I think just for the sake of the conditions, I think Kohli would have preferred Prasidh Krishna just for his sheer pace and that bounce. But again, any day a left arm seamer, it's always a plus when you have somebody like him in your team. Uh, Especially in the death overs, and he's known for his Yorkers. I think definitely it's not out of plans, but even I was kind of surprised when Prasidh Krishna was brought in. But again, I think somewhere down the line, Natarajan might play. If we manage to win the match tomorrow and close the series, we might see him in the third match.
Yeah. So we'll talk about England's game plan, And I personally feel England will be very, very disappointed with the defeat, considering that they were dominating the match. I mean, Johnny Bairstow and Jason Roy, Best especially, was literally mauling and tearing apart the bowlers. When you're chasing 318 and you are already 13 overs 130, which effectively means that you are chasing 180 runs for in next 37 overs. Even if you lose 1 or 2 wickets, the run rate is still under five, and you had quality batsmen like Ian Morgan, Ben Stokes coming from the hut. But I really think it was a failure of England. For some reason, they got carried away with the game plan of smashing the bowlers. Had they played a little bit, uh, maturely, had they played like around 10 overs, even if they got 50 runs in that between without losing a wicket, I think they could have won the match.
Yes, you are spot on. Especially after they lost their first wicket for 135 runs. I think see, the main important thing, which triggered this collapse is Ben Stokes, when he came and when he played continuous 9 to 10 dot balls,
Mm.
which ensured that Bairstow hasn't face he is not facing the strike. Okay, he was kept away from the strike for at least 2 overs. Then we saw when Ben Stokes got out after facing 11 deliveries, Morgan came in, and even Morgan was kind of stuck in the crease, and he was not rotating strike, and ultimately that got into Basto's head, and when he faced this strike after a long time, he got a little carried away. I think when you are in form, when you are hitting the ball like that, I think it's important that you face as many deliveries as possible. If you're denied strike for this much of time, I think it's plays with your mind, and you want to try something out of the box, and that's what Johnny Bairstow did, and that ultimately triggered the collapse. And one more thing is they definitely miss someone like Joe Root in the middle order.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think Joe Root would have been the perfect foil for them, where he could have played much more matured innings, where he could have played that anchor in that lineup. But well, he's not here because of the tests, and because he's having because England is playing around 17 tests this year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think they're preserving him for that. So that's it, guys. We have spoken about the first ODI, and going to the second ODI. I think it's more or less it will there'll be very few changes with with one confirmation is Iyer being out. So I think it will be very obvious of Surya Kumar Yadav coming in, and we have to see whether Chahal might replace Kuldeep Yadav or they might give Kuldeep Yadav one more go and show him one more chance of faith. And as far as England is concerned, I think England shouldn't be fretting too much because I think they definitely dominated 50% of the game. In the moment whenever India was going ahead, I think they pulled India back. So I don't think so. They should be too much worried. But I think they'll come up. They'll come with a huge fire in their belly, and they really want to fight it out. So we'll see you. We'll see you guys in other videos. Tata. See you. Bye bye.
Right.